Very nice. Hey guys, I'm Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We are at Winter NAMM 2017 in Anaheim. We're at the MTD booth with Michael Tobias, the man who's made so many great basses for so many great players, including now for Lynn Keller here, who, Lynn, you've been musical director on a lot of shows. You played with Diana Ross and Rita Coolidge. And any others I should mention?
Nell Carter and Michelle Schock, the original Fifth Dimension. I'm music direct for Jackie D. Shannon.
Awesome.
Folks, yes.
So tell us the story about your new signature bass. How did that come about?
All right.
And tell us about the process working with Michael and all that.
Well, the process working with Michael is always a joy. I've always loved his instruments for many, many years, and I approached him many years ago. And fast forward to 2004, I said, Michael, I really need something small. My hands are so small. I don't want to struggle with the bass. I want something that sounds great. Doesn't hurt my shoulders, is lighter weight, smaller body, and he just started making basses. And every time he'd make a bass, the next one was better. And it's been uphill since then, so it's been great.
Very cool. So when he made it to fit, customize the size for you, did he change the scale or mainly the?
Yeah, this is a 32-inch scale, so it's a shorter neck, a tighter spacing. It's a full 2 octaves and a smaller body. The great thing about it, there's no compromise on the low end. So the low end is just tight and punchy. Open B is focused. You can't get any more focused than that.
Great, sustained too.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Now, what about like the neck dimensions itself, like the width and the profile? Did he customize all of that?
Yeah, it's a little tighter in, so it's 16 millimeter spacing, and it works better for my hands, and I don't have to stretch as far out, so it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Right. And did you specify what electronics you wanted, or did you kind of go with what he was already doing? Or
I kind of went with what he was doing because it was sort of perfection. You don't mess with perfection.
So is it Bartolini's?
These are Bartolini's. This one is wound more like a P bass, but yes, these are Bartolini's.
And is that? I'm a guitar player who sometimes dabbles in bass, so do you want to run through the specs, or should we have Michael do that? Or
yeah, well, Michael can do that. Go ahead.
It's our basically normal preamp, volume blend, treble, mid-range, and bass, and a mid-shift that gives you 3 choices.
That's the toggle.
Yeah, it's a mid-range center point. The neck pickup is a darker winding than normal J, so it responds a bit more like a P bass without being woofy, and the bridge pickup is brighter.
It's active circuit?
Oh yeah, very. It's not a low impedance like our regular, so you could set it up active passive if you needed to. But the battery life is probably 6 months.
Oh wow, nice.
Which is pretty good.
Yeah. So back on the toggle, so it switches just the mid-range to go for.
It moves the mid-range center point, and then you can cut and boost it.
Very cool. Now, what about the body woods and all that?
Body is African mahogany with a maple burl top, maple neck, rosewood board. The neck carve was something we went back and forth on until it felt comfortable for Lynn. The 32-inch scale allowed her to get a very strong, focused low B without sacrificing too much tension. The shorter the scale, usually the more floppy the B. But that B has good bark and speaks really well.
Nice. Lynn, can you... Oh, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, that's all right. That's it.
Lynn, can you play a little bit more? Maybe some different settings that you like?
Yeah, absolutely. You can make it raise the high end. You can make it nice and focused, nice and clean. So it's kind of great. The nice thing about this is you can use it for all styles. And for slapping stuff, it's great too.
Very cool. Thanks for joining us to tell us about it. So, Michael, we cut and you went and grabbed another version. Is this kind of a more affordable version?
Basic one. What we decided was that since the base is so unique to our line and it's not really any other body shape we already did, that the model would be this body shape with variations and options available to the player. So this is still a 532, simpler bridge, solid color, one-piece body, and this is 4,800 list to start.
So what does that translate to street, roughly?
Street price is $3,500, something like that.
And how about the one that Lynn's playing right now?
Lynn's is close to 78 because of all the options. Honduran mahogany or the African mahogany has an upcharge. The maple burl top has an upcharge. So it's 58. Actually, it's about $6,500 list.
Okay.
So, but you can build. It's like build it your own way. You can have whatever option you want.
Cool.
But you start with a 32-inch scale and the narrow spacing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Lynn, for joining us. We're actually going to bring Michael's son, Daniel, in here to tell us about another signature bass, so we'll switch over. Right, guys, we swapped out chairs here. We got Bubby Lewis here, who's got a signature model. Bubby has worked with Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg.
Lupe Fiasco. Fortunate to work with Stevie Wonder a couple times. Janae Aiko. Bunch of hip-hop, R&B, gospel artists, Kim Burrell, a bunch of different people.
Pretty impressive resume, obviously, so that's really cool. You have a new solo album coming out, I think, right?
Yes, I do actually, next week, actually.
Very cool. So, Bubby, how did you connect with Daniel and Michael to get the signature model we see here?
Well, first off, I met Dan and Mike in 2003, a long time ago. I mean, of course, the rest is history. I've been MTD for life ever since. But this like concept though, this is that guy's brilliant mind right there. He made a prototype Super 5, 2013 or 2014, and he was just like, I want you to try it, and I hit one note and I was like, oh my gosh.
The Super 5?
Super 5,
The
yeah.
5-string, I assume.
5-string with the same pickup configuration, so
so you had him add another string, of course, because you didn't have enough hand cramps.
Right. So, I mean, I kind of just fell in love with it. Of course, I like everything, clearly, MTD. I got a bunch of MTD basses, but I was like, all right, well, let me get a couple supermodels before I go back to the,
On a supermodel. Daniel, tell us about the specs on this.
So it's our super pickup system and preamp. These are both dual coil pickups stacked on top of each other with coil cuts, treble middle bass, blend. Even though they're close together, it does kind of make a difference. Volume with a midpoint selector down 400, up 800, and then an active passive option that's in the preamp.
And
the other unique thing to Bubby's bass, and we do offer it in our typical spacing, but that 6 is 20 millimeter.
Yeah, those are
Bubby has lighter fingers.
They're how much wider is that from aircraft carrier right there?
Our typical 6-string is 18 millimeter, 5-string's 19, but he wanted all of his models in 20, so the 5 we made him is in 20, and the 6 is in 20 millimeter as well.
Bubby,
We offer it in normal.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Bubby, what is it you like about that wider spacing? Do you do a lot of bending or?
Well, yeah, I do a lot of bending, but I like playing chords. This is weird. I'm a bass player, but I like playing chords for some reason.
Helps you let every string ring out?
Yeah, it just certain chords that are like really close together, sometimes clustered, it just gives me a little bit more room. So if I'm switching from, different chords that are difficult to play anyway, it makes it easier for me.
You guys will hear in a second when he plays this. This guy's badass. Before we have Bubby play, Daniel, what are the woods on it?
It's a solid maple body with a maple neck and a roasted bird's eye maple fingerboard.
Nice. All right. I think we about covered it. Bubby, want to tear it up on that? Show us a few different settings.
Okay, right now I like setting any amp flat. I like to just let the bass do what it does. Right now I got my bass, mid, treble all the way up. I was on back pickup at that point, but centered now, so. I love it, man, because it's like it's the same type of consistency no matter where you play it. Yeah. And I mean it's got. I love this bass, man.
I can tell. It's mesmerizing watching you play. And this is a total side note, but are you using these as mutes or as a capo-ish or kind of a little bit of both?
Well, if you can't tell, I'm a little weird. My clothing, Frank and Bolly told me to say eccentric though, so I'll say eccentric. But honestly, I just like the way it looks. But yeah, I use them as a mute as well. Like if I'm, playing a bunch of chordy or tappy type stuff. But I mean, it just looks cool to me also. All right. And like when I wear my weird animal print pants and stuff like that, I guess Snoopy doesn't count today. Yeah, no. My shoes and socks, maybe no. Yeah, no, I don't know. My kimono, I don't know.
All right, sweet. So, Daniel, how much is this version going for?
The full list retail is $75.30 plus a case.
That's list, so that street's for what, high sixes or something? I'm setting price for you right now.
Yeah.
Go online and find out. They've got it somewhere, I'm sure.
5.5.
5.5? Oh, nice. I was ripping people off.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, Bubby.
Yes.
Do you want to tell people where to go if they want to see projects you're involved with this great playing? Check out your new album in a week.
Oh yeah, the album that's going to be on everything. All digital outlets. The album's coming out, and I actually,
a website?
Yes, robertbubbylewis.com. robertbubbylewis.com. Of course, everybody knows this. You can holler at me anytime. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of that. And I write back.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us, man. Daniel, tell people where to go online to find out more.
MTDBase.com, or they can email me, Daniel@MTDBase.com.
Sweet. Thanks, Daniel. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm Sean Hammond for PremierGuitar.com.